And oh, YouTube and podcasting, why research and how research can make a difference as you're creating content fearlessly. All right, welcome up, Joe. Let me know, Araya, are you able to hear me loud and clear, love? Oh, you can. Okay, great. Thank you, Joe. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So glad, so delighted that you guys are here with me today. And I wanted to make sure that we have an opportunity. This is for an hour. We have this room and we're going to be discussing the why and the how. Research really does matter when you're looking to create content fearlessly, whether you have a podcast or a YouTube channel. You want to make sure that you have some of the foundational things to set up yourself and your audience for the win. And so I know we've been having conversations over the past few weeks about making notes, taking the time to go back to certain resources that you know is going to help you to get clear on what your message is going to be when you are creating your content. And so I want to, as we get started, we'll definitely make introductions here in just a moment. But I want to first have you consider the how. So I know there's resources we've discussed in times past that has been as simple as exploring what it is that you want to be known for and seeing if it's a topic or a keyword that people are actually searching for. That is going to lead you and direct you in deciding if you are going to explore this further. Maybe you have an interest in the topic on your own, or maybe you're leading a community with people who are interested in the topic and they've shared with you their interest by you creating conversations around it and them showing up for it to learn more. Or maybe you've done a survey from your community and you're learning from them what it is that they need help with. And so you want to be able to really formulate what it is that you want to explore further and why you need to do more research on that for yourself and for those that you're called to pour into and to serve fearlessly. And so I definitely want you to think about what is it you want to be known for. And then the how is going to be researching at certain platforms like Answer the Public. So when you go to answerthepublic.com, or you may decide to go to Keywords Everywhere, Google Trends, or Uber Suggest. These are all tools that is going to tell you how many people are looking and searching for this topic, this question that you're looking to answer. And then it's going to give you ideas for more headlines, more sections that you can go deeper in, more questions that you can answer. And then you are getting the exploration for yourself and for others that are going to be learning from you. So I want you to think about that. The how in the research is looking at these tools, having a system, having a way that you can go deeper in a specific topic that your community is interested in or that you are interested in. That's why we have this room because I'm interested in podcasting and YouTubing. I do both, but there are others that are also desiring to learn and to go deeper in these areas. And so it's a win win all around. You're learning and you're gaining more expertise, and others who are called to you are also learning as you see, in effect, we're masterminding together. All right. So with that, guys, I'm so excited. We have these new features here on Clubhouse today. And so I'm excited to see in what ways we're going to utilize them today. And I want to give my friends an opportunity to chime in on this conversation before I go to the why. So flash your mics if you're ready to go and you're ready to share. Awesome. Yay. Araya. Lovely. So good to have you. I'd love for you, my friend, to share about you and let me know your thoughts on whether research matters.
Oh my gosh, Stacy, what a great topic. I just happened to be popping back in the room. I'm having a finally a day where I feel better from the COVID. Seems like I've lost my voice a little bit today, though, so forgive me if I sound like an obscene phone call here, but that's all good. So I'm taking down Christmas decorations, and I thought, let me hop on because I always feel naked if I'm not listening to a clubhouse room. And here you were. So it was perfect timing for sure because this is such a great topic because research always matters. I just coached my clients this morning and talked about their goal for the year and their goal for this quarter on their podcast. And on one of them's a television show host, very successful TV show here in the Atlanta area. Another one's a podcaster, and I'm a podcaster and TV show host. So it's not about just throwing together content. It's one, what does your audience need? That's first and foremost. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen more to what your community needs and then research for that and bring in the right guests, talk about the right topics. And I'm very heavily, into news, working here at the Board of Governors on the Emmys, where all the newscasters are my friends, and I really just kind of have that little, news at 11 type of mentality. What are people talking about? What are they chatting about? What's news today? Can you incorporate that into your short form reels, or can you incorporate that into your YouTube or your podcast? Because that's where you'll get the heavy traction right away, real quickly, if somebody's already talking about it. So if that resonates with you and your business, what you do, be very mindful of what's hot topic today, whether you're in the health and fitness industry or real estate industry or coaching, whatever it is. Hot topics matter. So research always matters and getting the right clients that fit what your clients want to hear about. And it might just be you. You may not even be interviewing other people, and that's fine too. So are you talking about the hottest topic today that you possibly can? And are you on trend with what those topics are? And whether you agree with the topic, at hand or disagree, it doesn't matter. It's your opinion. Get it out there. And that makes for great podcasts. That makes for great TV and YouTube. I won a Telly Award last year during the pandemic for my YouTube show called Smart Talk. And the episode that won the Telly Award was the one I did on racism. And I brought in 2 other co-hosts of mine, and I had Mark Hayes, who is very, very active in the Black Lives Matter, and a dear friend of mine, best friends with me, and my other co-host, very active in the LGBTQ community. So we have these 3 different backgrounds, and we're best friends. And I said, Mark, talk to us about how we can end racism. We want to know. And talk to us, 2 little white girls that are your BFF, and tell us what we can do. So we stop assuming we know how to help. Tell us how we can help. And that's what won the award. So those honest conversations about hot topics, tackle them, get into them if you want, if it resonates with your brand. So yes, research, have fun with it, and go for it. This is Araya, and I yield the mic.
Oh my word, Rhea, that was incredible. I love that you've even given a case study of how vital research is. And I know you're a lady that does the work. You set the foundation. You did such an incredible job last night. For those, you saw there was an interest based on the tremendous TED Talk that you did, and just recognizing that others have a desire to also go forth and learn. And it probably has been on trend for a while here on Clubhouse, because most people show up on Clubhouse because they want to speak and they want to become better speakers and, gain that visibility. And I just love, that you are leading so many poignant and incredible conversations, just like you were sharing doing the hard work, bringing in others that are going to be able to add value, like we have here today and like we have in all the conversations. You brought an expert to speak on this topic of being a TEDx speaker, and we were able to share it in the hallway. And I'm just so appreciative for those of you who are sharing right now. If you have the updated feature of Clubhouse, you know that you are able to share this particular room, and we're just all able to share knowledge, share insight, and share value of the difference it makes when there are hot topics like what Araya said, where things are trending. I know when they had certain movements like the Black Lives Matters, people were buying out all of the different URLs. Right now, NFTs, metaverse is a very hot topic, and we had another influencer talk about the fact that they made the investment because they stayed ahead of the trend. And so if you're constantly doing your research, you're constantly staying at the top of mind of what is relevant, of what is out there that is a hot topic, then you can be the first one on the scene and gain such tremendous traction and results. So I so appreciate that, Oriane. Everyone, I want to make sure if you haven't seen the replay of that, it is on my profile, it's on Araya's profile, and we're all about collaborating and supporting each other here. So I'm excited to hear as we
I love
continue.
you, Tracy. You're so supportive and you're such a great collaborator. I just adore you. I support everything you do.
Oh, thank you so much, Araya. Ditto for you and all my friends here today. You guys are amazing. So, my brother Joe is also here. I want to definitely hear. This is our power hour time here on this wonderful Fearless Friday. And Joe, you also are just doing such tremendous work and being so much more active here on Clubhouse. So, guys, make sure you're following all of my friends, all of these tremendous moderators and speakers, so that you are able to gain access to the tremendous conversations that we're having. Joe, my brother, let me know your introduction and your thoughts on whether research matters.
Hey, Stacy. So thanks so much for having me and for this room and this constant spaces that you're always providing for such value. One of the things that you find so often is there's a lot of people holding rooms, but there's no holding back with you. You just give it all. You constantly are reaching out and adding value to people. And so I just really appreciate that about you and all the spaces. So if you're not following the Fearless Creator, make sure you go to the top of the screen there. You hit that little Monopoly house there. If you're watching on YouTube or any of the other spaces that you're listening on, I'm sure this is simulcasted everywhere. Make sure that you are following Stacy and the Fearless Creator and all the things that she has going on, because that's going to really, really help you get to that next level. As far as me, my name is Joe Sugg. I'm the founder of Middle Class Millionaire LLC. My mission is to educate and empower entrepreneurial-minded, faith-focused, purpose-driven people to achieve financial independence so they can pursue their God-given purpose instead of a life-sucking paycheck. One of the challenges that I've run into with the research aspect of things is that, I find a lot of people when they're first getting started, especially, go out and they start researching, trying to find out what is the hottest thing that is going to be this great trendy, fast growing type of content. They want to go viral immediately. And, that may be fine and that may happen. But, I can tell you just from my own experience, when I got into social media, and, I haven't been in social media that long, I stayed completely off until about 2016. And, one of the first things I started with was Facebook, excuse me. And, had a pretty good run helping people to understand who they are, or just have fun with my content. And it grew about a 50,000 member base of people that were following because of the content that I was creating. Here was the problem. The content that I was created and the research, it worked, but it didn't create people and followers that were really going to engage in what I needed to do from a business standpoint, or even help the people that I really wanted to help. And so, I ended up handing that off, just completely handing it off to people who were really passionate about that area, because it wasn't going to fulfill what I have to do. And so I would encourage you, as you do that research, make sure you're true to yourself and true to your mission, true to your purpose, because that's really what you're going to want to do is follow. It doesn't matter if you have 100,000 followers or 1,000 followers. If you have that 1,000 followers that are really true to you and to who you are, that's going to be a lot more efficient than 100,000. So when you're doing your research, make sure it's in line with your purpose. This is Joe. I yield.
Wow, Joe, so incredible. So much meat, so much value always. When you, my fearless friends, open up your mouth. And Joe, you said something so important, the quality of the content. I know a lot of us, we're chasing the numbers sometimes, it seems like. And that seems like the way to validate that you're offering quality. But the survey speaks, right? When you do the research and you're providing the value, and then you hear back from your community the impact that the content you're producing is creating and meeting them at their point of need. It makes such a difference. And you do just that, brother. I'm just so excited for what is ahead and, for the ways in which we're all going to keep collaborating in 2022. Any of our amazing moderators so far want to comment on what has been shared? And welcome up, my friends. I want to make sure to welcome Marsha, Nee, Crystal, Nicole, Jeremy, Big Mike. I'm looking forward to hearing from Haliku. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But we're just so grateful for each and every one of you as listeners here and in the listening lounge, as well as those of you who are fearless speakers on the stage here today. This room could not be what it is without each and every one of you chiming in and fearlessly sharing your gifts and insights with us. All right, Marsha, I saw that you tapped your mic, so I definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to the stage and to our club today. I'd love for you to share with us a bit about you, and then if you believe research matters, why does it matter to you and to your audience?
Well, happy Friday, and thank you so much, Stacy, for having me up. I wanted to chime in because I love this topic. I'm at the hair salon. Friday is Marsha Day, so I usually do something for Marsha, but I wanted to chime in. So, yeah, research is very important to me. I love what Joe said. He's so true about being true to your mission, being true to yourself. And I like how he said, you can have 1,000 followers, and that's great. Pat Flynn says, all we really need is 1,000 super fans. And I like his mission. I picked my 3 core words for this year. I am a podcaster and a YouTuber, and I decided to streamline because I did a lot of one-on-one in 2021. I am a personal brand strategist and a social media strategist for the University of Houston here in Houston, and I did a lot of work. So I'm going to be streamlining and using, repurposing my content for, if I do content on YouTube, I can repurpose that content for my podcast. And those are 2 main areas that I want to build this year, my podcast and my YouTube. And he said it so well. Joe said his mission, mine is close to it. Mine is to educate, empower, and elevate. So every time I post content on YouTube or podcast, I'm going to be doing one of those 3 things. And lastly, research is very important. And for me, the places that I get research from on Sunday evenings, that's my planning day. And I plan what I'm going to be posting to my YouTube and my podcast for the upcoming week. And I research from YouTube videos from industry leaders. If I see what's trending there, I'll write down some of those topics. I also get my research from my clients. I meet quite a few one-on-one clients. I write their questions down, and I do my research there. I also get research from my other blogs that I am a part of, and I also get a lot of research from emails because I get a lot of emails where people are asking questions, Quora. So I have a few places that I get my research from, and I write it down on Sundays because it's always important to know what is it that people are looking for. It's not about what Marsha thinks should go. And one of those places they can write down a few. I may write down 10 topics for the upcoming week, and I use those and repurpose them across my social media, my podcast, and my YouTube. So I hope that those tips have helped you. And the biggest game changer for me has been the planning day, the week before, the day before the week starts. So thank you guys very much. Happy New Year, and I release the mic.
That was so good. Thank you so much, Marsha. While you were sharing there, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure more people are able to hear these insights. And thank you for just even reflecting over what our brother Joe was just able to share as well, because I love that you are highlighting, we're going to underscore this idea of making sure that we are looking to provide value and develop super fans, right? Versus just wanting to have some fly by night, on trend topic and community. A lot of us are building communities here on Clubhouse. And I love that you pointed out the pillars too. We spoke a little bit about that yesterday in one of our moderators in our Christian Content Creator Club. We have a cross pollination between both clubs, the Fearless Creator and the Christian Content Creator. And, just knowing exactly what drives you, what are the values. Probably more than likely, the people that have been drawn to you and your community, they are also in alignment with your values and the things that you love speaking about and that they desire to learn more about. So why diverge from that just because, something else is on trend? Does it really align with your message and who you desire to be and the message that you desire to convey? So I love that. You pointed out another thing that I think is vital, which is the email. I mean, how many of us, I want you to raise your hands if you're in the audience, if you are building and learning from your email list. Hopefully, you guys are doing that. We talk about fearlessly creating content in multiple ways, and we can't rely on just social media to build our communities and to build those super fans that you just pointed out, Marsha and Joe. We have to make sure that we're nurturing and learning and gaining the analytics and asking the questions, right? And applying what we hear from our audience that they need help with and that they can be a part of being the solution as well. When we do those collaborations and people feel like they're really a part of something great that is helping them to move forward in their mission and their goals. And that is what the Fearless Creator community is all about. So thank you for that beautiful reminder, Marsha. Anybody else wants to tap into what's been shared before we keep moving on and hearing these tremendous, tremendous shares? Go ahead and tap your mic if you want to just respond. All right. So Nicole, yes, welcome, Nicole. Go ahead and share with us.
I think it's important to emphasize that just as what was just, shared here by the last two people, the community, and looking at your community to create your content, not what you want to share, but what they want from you, right? And I think that stretches across every single platform. Crystal and I, we built an amazing community here off of Clubhouse, and that comes solely based on what is it that they want? What is it that they're going to engage, interact, and learn from? What best serves our community? And when you think like that, that's when you build, that's when you grow, and that's when your engagement will just, that's when you'll really see a return on your investment of your time, of your energy, and of everything that you're putting into sharing this content and creating this content, is when you're doing it for them and not for you. So I just wanted to double down on that.
Yes, oh my word. That is so powerful. And that is why Nicole, Crystal, Gina, those who are with the Mom Link have built such a powerful, forward moving and growing community, because you're listening to the people there, hearing what it is, and then even creating content to meet those needs and to keep helping the people that have been drawn and called to that powerful community. I'm so honored to be a part of that, Nicole, and I'm so grateful that you chimed in there. I want to hear from, I believe our brother Nee is next here. And so we're going to keep hearing the introductions as well as your thoughts on whether research really does matter and how you're incorporating that in your business. Nee, the mic is over to you, brother. I'm not hearing you, Nee. All right, I think we have a bad connection. Go ahead and let us know when you're in a better connection, okay? Because I don't think we're hearing you right now. All right, Crystal, I see your PTR. Love it, love it. I'd love for you to share with us, love, about you and any thoughts you have on this topic of whether and why research matters.
Yes, hello, beautiful Stacy. Absolutely, research matters, and maybe this is pulling out the old university student out of me, but I mean, who can ace anything without doing a little bit of research? You show up as your best self when you do research, when you're prepared, and like Nicole said, one of the ways that you can do research is do a survey, get feedback from those that you're trying to serve. Just like Nicole so well put it, nothing for us without us. Don't try and serve a community, serve your audience, or serve your clientele without knowing exactly what it is that they want to see. And the only way to do that is through a survey, a questionnaire, doing a focus group, doing one-on-one calls and asking those questions. And once you do launch something, get feedback. Like, I am a lover of feedback. I am not afraid to get feedback, get honest feedback. I'm always asking, how can we improve? How can we do better? Can we grow our audience? And I think if you have a podcast or you have a YouTube channel, reach out and make sure you're avoiding that bias and not just asking your friends and family, but, your supporters, your clientele, anybody you've met through social media apps. Get some feedback. It's so crucial to making those tweaks, making that pivot happen and changing it so you can continuously grow your audience. So that's my share for now. I hope that was helpful.
Yes. Oh my word, Crystal, that was extremely helpful. I love that you pointed out directly the types of people that we can gather research from. Yes, those of us who are very big on education, we're educating ourselves when we take that time. It is so necessary. We're laying a foundation that is going to live on and have our businesses, our content, everything that we create truly thrive. And at the very end of this call, and live mastermind power hour, I'm going to give a call to action because, the thing is that when we're having this conversation, we want it to be tangible, things that you are able to apply. I know we're learning so much and we want to make sure that we are taking action with what we're learning. And so thankfully the replay is on. Thankfully we're able to have a way to even transcribe. If, for those of you who are new here, we are simulcasting to all the places. So we're on YouTube. I will change out the link in a moment, but I wanted to make sure that everyone joins the Fearless Creator Discord server. This is our first time sharing it officially here in our room. And we're going to be rewarding our first 1,000 members. And so we want to make sure that you're able to get research done. Like, we know that, some of us have Facebook groups. We have so many other channels. We're growing our email list, but sometimes we're not able to get the right away response from those who are in our communities and those who we're connected with that are looking to create fearlessly. And so the beauty of this community is that we're going to be able to utilize it together. We're going to be able to share some of the fearless rooms that we are creating that is going to be relevant to fearless creators. This is another way that we can have a touch point in gathering information, having a safe space to encourage each other and to hold each other accountable with what we're learning week after week as fearless creators who are wanting to show up in the amazing platforms and places available to us, like YouTube, which is a search engine. Pinterest is a search engine platform, for those of you who don't know and believe it. Google, we know that is, so if you're blogging. So just thinking about all of the ways that you can maximize your energy, do the research, show up in a fearless way, and meet the needs of those in your community and even for yourself, because you are the one that is needing to be poured into so you can pour into others. And it all begins with doing the research, doing the homework. So take the time to join us. And thank you so much for those reminders of people we can learn from in our community today, Crystal. Nicole, I know we heard from you earlier, but you didn't get to do a full-on intro. So I want to make sure you have an opportunity if you want to go ahead and share that with us. Always, always so blessed to be in spaces with you, sis. So go ahead and let us know more about you.
Thank you, Stacey. So my name is Nicole. I'm 1/3 of the Mom Link. We really, our mission statement is to truly cancel the culture of competition amongst women. I think for so long, women are pitted against each other. From the time we're in, we're doing sports, or, we're in dance, or we're in ballet, or we're in pageants, or we're in, we're really like pitted against each other. And I think from a young age, then it translates into motherhood. We're comparing ourselves to other moms. We're comparing our clothes. We're comparing our food. Like it's just never ending. And so, you truly cannot be happy until you just embrace yourself, embrace the people that love you, stop second guessing yourself and truly step into the collaboration mindset, right? And so we have built a community here on Clubhouse based on exactly that. And I love that we're talking about community here today. I know we're focused on YouTube, but a lot of these, I just want everyone in the audience and on the stage to remember, like, these tips work for every platform. When you're building community, we all want engagement, we all want views, we all want likes, we all want comments, right? And the way to do that is, who would have thought, build community, right? So whatever you want, don't ever do something or tell somebody to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. So don't, go in people's inboxes and ask for likes or shares or comments if you're not the first one to show up and do that on their post, right? Build your little community, people that know, okay, when I post, I know Stacey's going to comment, right? I'm looking for Stacey to comment on my post, or I'm looking for this person, looking for that person. And that's truly how you start to build a community. That's how you start to get super fans. Giving them acknowledgement, giving them respect, asking for their opinion. These are all things that, you can use across all platforms. And so I really love this conversation today. Anywhere where we can come together and level up, I think is a great space. So thank you, Stacey, for hosting, and I rest my mic.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much for being here and pointing that out. I think it is so vital. Like, all of us are looking to build those communities, and I couldn't have said it any better. Just thank you so much for bringing these ideas to the forefront. And I know, there's always a reason why we're led to create these conversations. And sometimes it's just getting the simple reminders that's going to propel us forward, or to get the light bulbs to go off. That was in my title originally, where I want you to start thinking and toying with the idea of how you're able to research not just for yourself, but for the people that you've been called to. And you'll know who you've been called to based on the people who you see that are showing up, the questions they're asking, and how they're contributing, whether it's here on Clubhouse, in your Facebook group, in a Discord server like we have linked up top, however form you're able. People do polls in their actual stories, and that is research. So don't discount all the ways that you're able to connect with your community. Thank you, Nicole. I want to go down to one of our beautiful speakers here who's been patiently waiting. We're going to go back up to our mods who have known for quite some time, and they're always tapping in. And I'm looking forward to getting to know more of you and welcome you in our family as Fearless Creators. And so I believe we have here Haliku. Thank you for patiently waiting. I'd love for you to share about you and let us know your thoughts on whether research matters and how you may be doing that.
I am also a podcaster. The name of my podcast is Porch in the Path, and it's about spiritual. I'm an intuitive.
How you keep cutting in and out for some reason.
I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting my earbud that I use went through the washer, so it's wonky. I'm so sorry about that.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I'll just real fast, start over. I'm just Haliku. I'm your friendly neighborhood tarot reader here on Clubhouse. I'm always trying to elevate and electrify the conversation around spirituality and intuition. The tarot is my love language. I'm a professional reader, and I'm a podcaster. The name of my podcast is The Pillars, the Porch, and the Path. I co-host and I co-create it with my sister, Tallulah Ohoyo. She's a Chandler. As you can imagine, our skills go really great together, and our podcast is just about spiritual exploration and sisterhood and trying to make people feel in community and as though they have a family wrapped around them, especially if they're just starting their spiritual journeys. And something a myth that I like to bust is that people that are intuitive or consider themselves, witches or hoodoos or spiritualists, that we don't believe in science and information. I consider research information. In magic and in spiritual circles, we're always trying to focus and use energy. And so that's what I consider data, that's what I consider information. It's so important to look at the metrics of whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're creating, especially if you are trying to bring some magic into what it is you're doing. I've never been great at math. What I don't know about math and statistics could fill several books, but I know it's important to understand the magnitude and the types of energy that are coming into the things that I'm creating. So it's important for me to look at what kind of energy, how many people are coming to my website, it's important for me to crack into Libsyn, to not let my editor do all the work, to understand, who's coming to the pod, who's leaving reviews, who's listening, who are the super fans. My husband is kind of my de facto manager of my little business. He's a Harvard Business School guy, so he's a little bit hard nosed, but he's like, yeah, it's totally worth it for you to invest in something like ClubHub to see who's coming to my rooms. Like, I spend a lot of time on Clubhouse creating. I use a lot of it and I repurpose a lot of the content. So it's important to get that information. That's the way I look at it. Social media, however we're promoting our podcast or getting our pod out there, that's energy. Those are portals. Like, people are coming in, they're coming in for something, and I'm trying to give something and share something. So as someone that definitely, despite my Black girl nerd background, my little Dartmouth college degree, my career in doing domestic violence and sexual assault before I became like a full-time intuitive, all of that kind of comes together. And a big part of that is data, the information. Who is coming to what I'm creating? What are they taking away from it? And how can I, expand the space around this virtual campfire that I hope that my podcast and everything I'm creating on Clubhouse is. So it is important. It's its own special magic. It's its own special energy. Whatever data and information we're getting from, our analytics, like how people are engaging with us on Instagram, how many people are following us over to Instagram or following us over to Twitter from Clubhouse. How many people are taking a look at our videos, who's looking at our videos versus actually listening to the pod? Where are they listening to our podcast? What different countries are people coming from? As someone that's intuitive and as a spiritualist, yeah, it's kind of important for me to know how many people are listening to me talk about tarot cards from India. Why is that? Like, what are the cultural norms and structures that make, that connection possible? So just as someone who's probably coming from a slightly different field than a lot of other folks are coming from, data is, how important I think research is, and how it truly is a part of the magic that I'm making here on Clubhouse, and that my podcast is making, and is sending out to people through all kinds of different portals. So thank y'all for letting me share. I'm Halleck-Hugh. It's winter. I live in Northern California. It's raining sideways here, but even though it's winter and cold outside, I'm still in bloom.
Oh, Haliku, I loved that. I loved your ending there too. I think it's so vital, with what you said there, how you're making people feel. I think a lot of us, even just considering the idea that people do end up speaking and communicating in different ways with us as those who are holding these spaces. We look out for the feedback sometimes in the back channel, and people say the warmth, the kindness. You are able to set the tone, right? You're able to set the standard based on the spaces that you create and the conversations that you bring forth out of others. So thank you for that reminder here today. I believe, and I always pray and hope that everyone that is led into these rooms, it is never a coincidence. There's always a reason, and the connections, the ways that we can collaborate, and even calling forth the deep in others. And it's just such a blessing when I hear and get those sorts of feedback. And I believe, all of us have that opportunity where we can get that feedback from our community, whether it's here on Clubhouse, which is I love that you said your husband saw the value and was like, yeah, you probably need to invest because this is where you're able to even hear the hearts of people. You're able to really hear even the fear. You can hear where they are and see how you can meet them at their point of need. And so just thank you for tapping in today. And we definitely invite you to fearlessly keep showing up as a podcaster. You pointed out Libsyn. So if anyone is ever curious, there are other conversations that sometimes we will have on talking about certain tools that we utilize. I mentioned at the beginning, at the top of the hour, that we utilize systems for research like Ubersuggest. We utilize answerthepublic.com, Google Trends. And so knowing and keywords everywhere, which is an actual, you can have that as an actual download as a plugin in your browser. So while you're doing your regular Google search, while you're seeing if it's really worthwhile to go deeper in exploring a topic or writing about a topic or even speaking about a topic on your podcast, on your YouTube channel, you'll see that there is a demand for it. So you're not wasting your time. And then just thinking about even, you want to be able to have these different levels of doing the research, right? So you're doing the level of just having a blanket idea of what the world is curious about, but then going deeper as to what your community is curious about and what your community needs. So anybody wants to so far, I'm just loving the conversation, loving the shares, and want to welcome each and every one of you who's joining in, and invite you to share this room. I already see we have 6 people who've shared this room out. Thank you for those of you who see the value of the conversation and research and getting your wheels to turn, getting other people's wheels to turn, to really consider positioning themselves to really pour out value and being able to do the homework, doing the hard part, laying the foundation in advance so that you are able to really grow as a community and with your content fearlessly. All right, so I believe we have next in line. I want to welcome Karine, Lacreche, April. Welcome so many amazing moderating friends up to the stage and speakers, our esteemed speakers. We just heard from Haliku. We have Donna, Lena, Arthleen, Brian, Rose, Erica, James, Frazier. Okay, guys, so I'm going to make sure we're cognizant of the time since we are looking to do a power hour room here as we do every single Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you're the first to hop in the room next time so that we have enough time to go to everyone who wants to come up and speak. All right, so now I believe we have Jeremy. Brother, thank you for patiently waiting. Introduce yourself to us and let us know how research matters.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Stacy, I think you already know what I'm going to do. I don't think April and Lacreche introduced themselves, so I'm going to yield my mic towards them, be a gentleman, and then if I have time, I can introduce myself afterwards. I'm not in any rush or any type of time to be able to introduce myself. I'm going to yield the mic to April or Lacreche to take the time.
Oh my gosh, Jeremy, we love you, brother. Thank you so much for that. And I'll just quickly just say Jeremy is incredible. He's always bringing conversation on blogging and Medium and just always talking and sharing with us how you can write and write well. We're just so blessed to have you a part of our community, a vital part of our community, Jeremy. So over to April.
Hey, thank you so much, Jeremy. I'll be super quick because I want to be cognizant of time. My name is April Nicole Scipio, the More Coach, because I believe that God has more for your life. I get to serve Christian female communicators, helping them to stop hiding in the background and monetizing their message. I do have a podcast called the Live Lovely Podcast, and I'm just happy to be here. This is my family. Stacey, thanks for pinging me in. When your family pings you in, if you can go in, you go in to support. So I'm just here to serve and support. Research definitely is important because not only does it equip you to serve your people better, but it gives you that confidence. So that's just my share today. I'll yield the mic so others can have a turn, but very excited to be in space with you guys today. This is April, and I'm done speaking.
Yay, April, we love you back. You're amazing. Thanks as always for your support, sis. And guys, I'm just so amazed and I'm so excited for everyone joining the server and all of the hellos and introductions happening over there. That's how we're going to take it deeper. So I am going to pull the link in just a moment. So make sure you grab that link and you join us over there. Do your introductions and welcome so we can fearlessly connect, in between these rooms. Love, love, love it. So I believe we have our next speaker in line. Donna, welcome. Loving your purple royally there. I'd love for you to share about you and your thoughts on research and if it matters.
Hi, thank you for having me on your stage. My name is Donna Janine, and I am going to have to bow gracefully because I'm driving and I'm at work and I'm kind of working and stuff. So I'm going to be in listen mode if that's okay. But thank you. I love the conversation, and I'm having a great time. I joined, and so I plan to come back in the room again. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, so awesome. The beauty of Clubhouse. So we are multitasking here. Lucretia, love, over to you. I'd love for you to share about you and your thoughts on why and how research matters.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with all my cousins and other, family members soon to be that are a part of the club. My name is Lucretia Mays. I am a bonus mom coach, and I help faith-based bonus moms of blended families to navigate and cultivate their relationship with their bonus child and their mom. So research is very important. That's even going back to when you do research papers in school, you can't necessarily talk about a topic unless you've researched it. So I love to come in these rooms. I am, trying to build up my YouTube and get that going in a great motion. So just so glad to be here. I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, Lucretia. We're so glad you're here. Another family member in our Christian content creator community as well. Fearlessly, guys, you need to check out her IG because she does some incredible reels. And I know that she's listening to her audience and the feedback and the comments to know what to do next. Love, love, love it. I believe we have our next speaker. Lena, welcome to our Fearless family. I'd love for you to share about you and your thoughts on how and why research matters.
Hi, Stacy. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for creating this great, great community. And I'm always, every time I see your name, I have to come into that room because you are creating a great community. I just wanted to say, those of you who don't know me, my name is Lena, and I am an organizational growth consultant and leadership coach. And so my business is really driven by numbers, and I really like there's a doctor that does a lot with neuro science, and he's Dr. Amen. You may have heard of him. I love his saying. He says, you cannot change what you cannot measure. And so it's really important to measure what we are doing to see if it's working, and if it's not, to be ready to pivot. And so that's pretty much a mantra that I live by, and that's why research is so important in so many ways. And so, having two key performance indicators, in other words, you're just not measuring for the sake of measuring, but you are measuring really, you're looking at the important data, the one that is really relevant, in which when you tweak that and you're able to pivot with that, you are really able to make a difference in what you're trying to gain back. And then the last thing I want to say, because I want to be conscious of your time and respectful, and that is, I love what Nicole said. We're not in competition with each other, and that's why I love the whole idea about building community, because what one person is called to do, the other person is called and equipped to do so, and there's room for all of us. So I thank you for this room and the spirit in which, you come in, and I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Lena, I love that quote. I don't think we talk about this enough, but how are we utilizing the analytics measuring what's working, seeing how we need to even maybe pivot when we recognize that, oh, this may not be so relevant as I thought. And like you pointed out, that our dear sister shared, just recognizing sometimes we think we need to be creating content that we're interested in, but what is it that our actual community needs and they're really longing for from us? And so I just appreciate you, Lena. Thank you for those kind words. And we're so delighted you're a part of our community. Hopefully you were able to join our server before I switched it out, because I just switched it out to the YouTube. I don't think many people knew that we were simulcasting on the YouTube channel. And since this is a YouTube and podcasting room, guys, we want to show you in effect how you can do the same thing as we're sharing knowledge and insights and being able to have this power hour together. We want you to maximize your energy as you're building your community, as you're doing research and you're learning and exploring. Do the same thing. Simulcast in all the places. So if you want to be able to learn, we're going to be sharing a lot of that in our community. And as we've done in times past, you can send the keyword toolkit and we'll give you the full-on toolkit, which includes some planning pages. It includes all the tools that we're using to be all set up here right now. The Rodecaster Pro, recording for the podcast, the camera, the everything. You see my mic flag here. You just see the entire layout and system so that we can show up on 5 different platforms at the same time. So it really is simplified and streamlined. I heard somebody say that earlier, and we want you to be able to have the results, do the research. Some of us have done the research for you. So all you need to do now is take action. All right. So welcome up, Aliza. So delighted to have you join us up here. Fraser, brother, so good that you are also here. And Erica, I believe you just joined us as well. And so we're going to be wrapping up shortly, but I want to make sure that we hear every share now. So we're going to turn off hand raising here. Oh, great. So I do see that someone got to it. Thank you, my lovely fearless moderators. You guys are on it. So I believe our next moderator here in line is, let's do Jeremy, because Jeremy, you passed it on earlier. So over to you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy, the founder of New Era Copy LLC, where I'm a content writer, blogger, and editor for Medium. And what I do is I write less words for more impact by helping entrepreneurs, founders, and creatives to create, transform, and innovate their words into long-lasting relationships. And so one quick tip on research and why it matters is that for me, doing my SEO research when blogging on Medium allows me to not only reach my target audience, but it also allows me to increase my engagement and be able to actually see how my audience is interacting with me. So a lot of times we neglect the comments, we neglect the likes, we neglect the subscriptions, or even the follows that we get, and we don't see who is actually engaging and interacting with us. And so most of the times we think we have to speak on this platform, but if you read through the bios and you actually do your research, that is those are those little details that we neglect in research. That if you see a keyword, or if you see a key industry that you can target and address with the pain points of your area of expertise, then that research will matter in you actually gaining that ideal client, that ideal consumer in your community, and allowing them to go and enter your funnel and actually see how your community can benefit them and add value to their ideal destination and where they want to be. So just pay attention to those little details and actually start to be able to communicate with your ideal clients in a clear way. And then the last thing I would say is always think about diversifying your portfolio and looking into different platforms. Medium I'll just give this last stat. Medium has 117 now million subscribers each month, and so I'm excited as the numbers continue to rise. And as I heard earlier, numbers and different things with email lists and everything like that, those are pivotal in how you actually continue to grow with in your business in 2022. So I'm glad that I heard a lot of great stats and facts in this room, and I'm just here to continue listening and learning. So thank you so much. And if you feel led to back chat me, or if you have any questions, feel free to do so. Thank you so much, Stacy. I'll yield the mic.
Thank you, Jeremy. Guys, you make sure that you connect with Jeremy if you want to level up your blogging, your Medium game, really being able to find new creative as well as effective ways to get your message out there. And just knowing that, sometimes we need to outsource. If we've gotten to a level in our business where we have someone that has the know-it-all, has done the research, he's getting his master's in writing, and you're such a great communicator as well, Jeremy. We just so appreciate you and, as always, the value that you pour into our community. All right, so I believe we have our next speaker here. So we're just going to go a little bit over because we want to honor the voices of those of you who really came and showed up and, of course, just fearlessly came a part of the conversation. We appreciate your support today. So we have... who do we have next? Arthleen. Welcome, Arthleen. Share a little bit about you and why research matters.
Hello, good evening or good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you for having me on the stage. My name is Arthleen Lawrence. I am an international award-winning fashion designer, among many other things that I do. I also have my own television show, which is a live streaming, and we stream on about 10 different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Amazon Fire, LinkedIn, Twitter. And very excited about everything that's happening. I know I need a lot more help, and so that's why I'm here, just to even learn more of how to be more effective and how to use my time more wisely. I think research really matters, because I was thinking, imagine going into a battlefield without the weapons that you need. You're going to be assassinated. So getting into things without researching it, I think that might be a setback. So research is really, really important. For me, I think sometimes I do too much research because I get so much information, then don't know what to do with it. So I am very thankful to be here and just learning from everyone that has done it before. So thank you for having me. God bless.
Thank you for being here, Arthleen. And you said it. So the research that we're all looking to do together, we are going to make sure that you're putting it to use and taking action. So I'm so excited that you have been led to be a part of our community. And we have this every single Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So an official welcome to our family. And at the end, I will share the Discord again. Remember, guys, if you make a comment, you are commenting on the YouTube channel, then you are able to see each other's channels. And I do take the time to feature you on the actual live stream, which is being live streamed to multiple places, so that you are aware. We are streaming to 2 Facebook groups. We're also streaming to Twitter. I don't know if you knew that was a thing. And of course, we are streaming to the YouTube channel. And we are also streaming here. I'm going to do the wisdom later because I wanted the audio to be clear, crystal clear. And so the way that I'm able to do that, I'm recording on the Rodecaster Pro so that I will be able to just have that play out later on wisdom. So this is how we're touching all the bases, and we want you guys to see how you can do the same thing for your brand, for your community. And then we've taken the hard part out. We've done the research for you. In the beginning, we shared some tools that we utilize. At the very end, I'm going to share the last point on the why, and how vital that is in your research. So thank you for those of you who've joined in. Dr. Fashion, she is a YouTube queen. I'm excited that she's a part of our conversation here today. And I believe we're going to hear now from Fraser Brother, always supporting, always showing up fearlessly. Let us know a little bit about you and why research matters.
Hello, so I'm multitasking badly here. Crumbs, 3 people have tried to phone me while I've been on here. I thought, yeah, I'll phone you back, some Clubhouse. So, who am I? Fraser from Edinburgh, Scotland. I've been podcasting for, about 14, almost 7 years, because of that. Also, my main bread and butter, been self-employed, running a cleaning business for 12 years. So I do that. So that's my main, basically what I do. What I've been doing, research, not even much research at the moment, but to kind of what I've been kind of helping a lot of people start a podcast and how, and obviously hear their story and want to interview them, and obviously to recommend them to other people. So I've been doing that. I've been kind of put people in front of me so I could advise them how to start a podcast on without having to spend an absolute fortune. How easy it is. So been doing that really. Kind of kicked off my Conduct KDP, so I've been designing some planners really, that kind of thing. So I've been kind of just been doing back to work. So it's been a bit of a mishmash of everything really. So I'm doing bits and bobs here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just kind of I'm looking to do I'm looking to just connect with somebody. We're going to actually have a chat. Hopefully, maybe in a month's time, we're going to connect and actually hopefully do a collaboration in writing a book, which I've never actually written a proper full book before. But we're going to use a Christian, but certainly a topic that will, I'm not going to say any more, but it could certainly cause a few ripples when it comes to, just to kind of, but it's the Lord's testimony work kind of thing, so that's the main thing. So, and it's just a topic, I think it needs to be kind of, written about. But anyway, apart from that, that's kind of it really. That's not kind of, I think, but research in some way, just to roughly answer the question, if I'm not kind of waffling on a little bit, it's always good to do research. I think if you do a little bit of inquiries or ask stuff, it helps at the end of the day. It's better to know more before you kind of sort of jump in the deep end sometimes. But in some ways, in choices in life, and when it comes to the Lord, you've got to just sometimes there's no right or wrong answer in life. You've got to just try it. Try it before you buy it. Just try it and see where it goes. If you don't try it, you might be missing a perfectly good opportunity that God wants you to do. So choices are hard sometimes, and research can be hit or miss. But I think it's just a matter of just doing what doing what you think's best and what God thinks best in your heart, and you're always at peace about it. There's not really any right or wrong sort of kind of way of saying yes, I'll do it or won't do it, and just giving it a try. I think that's one thing in life, is just trying things, and it's all about learning. Because 2022, if you're not really willing to learn new stuff or try something, you never know if you're good at it or not. And it's like a food that you've never had before. You say, I don't like that. Well, how do you know if you never tried it? So it's all about trying things. It's not easy sometimes, and I think just about life, it's about making. If you think about it, I'm trying to be quick here. Sorry, we've got 24 hours in a day. We've got a new 24 hours every day, and make the most of it. And hopefully, by whatever has happened over the last whatever years we've been trying to say we'll do, just make plans and do it. Don't make it the can't by saying, there's another excuse of stopping from doing something that you want to do. So that's my sort of challenge to you. Don't just turn the can't into a can, that I can do things through him, and you'll do it. But anyway, I think I'm going to stop talking now because everyone's probably waffling on too much. So that's me. Going to connect. Happy to chat. Happy to do interviews, podcasting. I'm in Scotland, and happy to connect and always just network and take it from there. I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, Fraser. And we just appreciate each and every time we are tapping in here in Clubhouse, because we're learning together. And I love what you said, don't discount yourself and say you can't until you've actually tried it. And just say to yourself, you can. And we're just going to take those action steps, just knowing that we can do the research by how we're showing up, how we're falling, and sometimes failing. It really becomes learning. It's all a matter of perspective. so that we can push forward and apply the lessons learned. So thank you, Fraser. He's fearlessly showing up, and he's doing a whole network for podcasters. So I'm excited to see where this goes and how we can continually support each other on this journey. So I believe our next quick share we're going to hear as we're getting ready to wrap up. Brian, thank you so much for patiently waiting. And then we're going to go to Eliza if she's able to. If not, we'll go to Dr. Fashion, Brittany, and then we will wrap up with our last share from Erica before we close out with our action steps for today. So thank you for being here. The mic is over to you, Brian. Let us know a little bit about you and why research matters.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Hi, everyone. I am Brian, and I work for a nonprofit occupational training center for adults with diverse abilities, where I've been employed for close to 13 years, wearing a few different hats in terms of my responsibilities. And outside of work, I do what I like to call unpaid influencing, because I'm not employed by anybody, not required to do it for anybody, but I do my best to post daily on my platforms with some creative content, and so like I've gotten into doing reels on Instagram over the last few months, and the last few days I've been getting my feet wet with TikTok. And then podcasting. I currently have 13 episodes on the Wisdom app. That's the only place that I'm doing podcasting right now. It's not like an official podcast, but I like to call it a podcast. And I do want to eventually do like Stacey does and do a real podcast on video. But baby steps, and one day, 1 week, 1 month at a time, or something like that, in terms of eventually getting to that goal. That proves the point of why research matters, because when you, specifically in Clubhouse, and when you're on your own and you're just looking at your laptop or your phone and doing some research, it matters because you want to take in as much as you can so that you can understand how it works. Like, how does leading a talk work for a podcast? Whether it's just you as the host, or you having a guest interview, or however many guests, and also how, like, with particularly reels, how to do them, and then if you want to repurpose it to other platforms, how to get the watermark off. So it's very important, because when you do the research and you can successfully launch a podcast or successfully put out a reel or a post, then it will look clean and people will want to engage with it. People will want to listen to it and stop what they're doing and listen to you, because you're providing something valuable to them. So that's what I do my best to do through all of my platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Clubhouse Wisdom, now TikTok. So that's my share. If anybody else is curious about more information about me, it's in my bio. And thank you so much, Stacey. And I wish you all a great weekend if I don't see you on the streets of Clubhouse. And I'm done speaking.
Wow, Brian, thank you so much. Can we all give a round of applause to Brian? Because, I mean, most of us, I believe, know Brian on this app. Brian has been showing up fearlessly in all the places. And I love that you're saying you're doing the research so you can learn how it all works. And I am seeing you continually show up and blow up, because honestly, you're not only taking the time to listen and to learn when you show up in these rooms, but then you go the extra mile to also raise your hands, come up, share your gift, which is your voice, and you don't keep it contained to one platform. I did get a notification from you, Brian, when I think it was on TikTok, and I haven't even had a chance to go over on TikTok today yet. But I just love how you are tackling all the places, and before we know it, we're going to be celebrating you with your wide distribution of your podcast and also even YouTube channel, because I believe the sky is the limit for you, Brian, and we're celebrating you today. And I'm so excited you were part of our server. I'm going to take the time to link that out again before we close out today and hear our last shares. But I want to give a special hello to Ramsey Unleashed on YouTube. We put up his comment. And then also Erica Nicole, who said, hello, I'm a newbie. Just joined you guys on Clubhouse. Welcome, welcome, Erica. So we can see the beautiful faces here on the stream, and we want to welcome you to definitely tap in, hit that link, even if you're watching the replay, so that you're able to connect with each other. Add in your comments so we can see your profiles. I take the time after the live, later on in the day or the next day, I make sure to go back and watch your channels. Take the time to subscribe. And I want you guys to leave with new connections who are fearlessly showing up here on Clubhouse and fearlessly wanting to make sure that they create content of value for other content creators. And everyone has their own niche and their own group of people that they're called to reach and even nurture, because we touched a little bit about that earlier on the email list. When you send out those surveys, you do those polls, that's a part of research. But we want to make sure you're not relying on just one platform to build and learn from your community. There are a plethora of ways and a plethora of available resources and tools. So we want to equip you with that. We've done the hard part of the research, and we just want you to tap in, take action, and link arms with others who identify as fearless creators so you can go out doing it. It doesn't mean that you have no fear. It means you're going to fear less over time if you are surrounding yourself with other fearless creators. We're doing that together, and we're upholding, uplifting, and researching and applying, taking the action necessary together. So cannot wait for that, Brian. Now we're going to hear from Dr. Fashion. I'd love for you to share with us any tips you have, because you are a master YouTuber, and I'd love for you to share with us how and why research matters. Over to you, love.
Thank you for having me. Well, for anybody that don't know who I am a full-time content creator on YouTube and various other platforms, and I teach other creators how they can turn their passion into a full-time career. So one of the things when it comes to content is researching, and a lot of people I've come across that need help, that's something that they neglect. So when you research, it helps you understand like what content your audience find valuable and relevant, right? So every piece of content that I put out, I have done my research. So to give you an example, there was a video that I posted on how to make a custom mug. If you type it up on YouTube, and even if you type it up on Google, I should be ranking number one. And the reason why I'm ranking number one is because I did my research. One of the biggest things is, YouTube pays attention to audience retention. That's one of the biggest things. But also, I did my research and I figured out a problem to a solution. So a lot of the problems that I was seeing for people who were creating custom mugs is they were getting sick from the chemicals that they were using to seal the mug. So I've done my research and found an FDA approved chemical that people can use to put their artwork on the custom mug. But also I shared other tools that people can use to keep themselves healthy. And that's with a respiratory mask, right? So doing your research come a long way, not just for the tools that you're using in your videos, but also for the topics that you're doing, staying on trends. All of that matters. So just to give you guys a tool that I use to do my research is Google Trends. It's free. If you go to trends.google.com, I use that to research what people were searching for the last 5 hours, the last 5 days, the last 5 weeks, and the last 5 years. So one thing that I've noticed with content is things come and go, just like fashion, right? But when you do your content strategy and you do your research, you can be ahead of the game. So you guys know Valentine's Day is coming up. You'll start to see a lot of the same content creators or content creators in general creating some of the same content.
is because things come and go depending on the season. So using tools like, Google Trends and all these other tools that are free and available for you can help you go a long way, and you will never run out of content ideas. So I hope that helps someone or anyone in this room. Thank you for having me.
Oh my word. Of course, Dr. Fashion. Just so appreciate you, Brittany, because you pointed out something we were just touching the tip of the iceberg earlier when we mentioned Google Trends and Uber Suggest and keywords everywhere and answerthepublic.com. I love that you gave a tangible way that we're able to put to use Google Trends, because one of the things people don't even recognize is that even Pinterest, right, which is a search engine platform, can work so beautifully and in tandem with YouTube and with knowing what is trending. It's a cycle, right? So if you were able to create content this time last year that you knew it's going to be trending going to Valentine's, you can maybe optimize, see what worked the last time, and then you don't have to reinvent or recreate the wheel. Now you can take it a step further. So I love, love, love that you pointed that out. And guys, how many of you are going to make sure that you take the time to utilize a free platform, like you heard Brittany said, Google Trends, this week before we come back next week? I want you to raise your hands. We want to see who are going to be action takers in this room today. Because I know that you're leaving inspired, but we want you to leave taking action, fearlessly going out and applying what it is that you're learning and the research that is necessary to go deeper. So I want you guys to know that we do normally give a content calendar, and I just wanted to make sure everyone gets a chance right now to, join us over in the YouTube channel, since that's one of the main reasons why we're here too, is that we want to see each other grow and we want to connect with each other over on YouTube. But I'm going to switch out the link back to our server, where we're going to be able to continually introduce ourselves outside of this Power Hour room, and we'll be able to even do research and share as fearless creators what tools we used this week and how we were able to apply taking what we learned in this room and doing the research and being able to see the results. One of the things that last year leading up to the new year is that vision board was very hot. And so I had created how to make a vision board YouTube video about 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, I need to go and check out with TubeBuddy, which is another tool. I needed to check out and see what particular videos are ranking for this keyword and this topic, since it's a very hot keyword and topic right now, and see how I can optimize my actual thumbnail to match what was trending in this time. And so you're just giving yourself an extra leg up. You're giving yourself an extra opportunity to be able to maybe go viral, or you're giving yourself an opportunity to gain further reach because there are certain newer keywords that are trending that you need to incorporate that is relevant to your content. And so guys, this is how it all works. It's a wheel. It's a cycle that is going to keep going and growing if you stay ahead of the trend and the curve. So I just appreciate you so much, Brittany. You're always welcome here. You're one of the vital parts of, this mastermind live, which is something we offer, of course, free here for our fearless creators. So thank you for sharing and tapping in today. All right, so we have here our last speaker to share before we hear from our last moderator. Erica, thank you for patiently waiting. Let us know a little bit about you and why research matters. And we're just so glad you're here. Over to you.
Well, thank you for having me. This is actually my first time. I'm a newbie to your clubhouse, and I did pop on to acknowledge the YouTube channel. I am also a new YouTuber as well as a new podcaster. I've had a very small podcast for over a year, but I've been live streaming on Facebook and Instagram since 2016. And to be honest, I wasn't a big researcher. Like, I would just kind of throw the spaghetti on the wall and see if it sticks kind of girl. And what I'm noticing now that I'm actually wanting to take it more serious, and I see the impact of my words and how I'm able to really connect to people, and I got a target market. Now I'm realizing the value of research. So I have taken copious notes from each and every one of the speakers, such great value. I'm taking copious notes, and I'm excited to put it into action before next Friday when I get back onto your next clubhouse. Thank you for having me. Back to you.
Yay! Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you in another space. Now I put two and twos together, Erica. Yes, you're the one over here in the YouTube channel. So guys, you can see Erica's beautiful photo and face and, words here if you took the time to come over on YouTube. So let's keep connecting. Erica, that just warms my heart to know that you're going to be one of the fearless action takers today. You're taking notes. And if guys, you weren't doing that, no fears, no worries. You'll be able to listen to the replay. And we are recording for the actual podcast. We repurpose our content here. We see the research of what people are looking for, what is relevant. And then as the time allows and as you're using your content calendar, you're setting aside the actual intentional moment to put it out there and then to promote it, because you can't just create content and expect that it's going to do well. Now you need to take the time to share and spread the word. And so that's what I'm hoping from our server up top that I just took the time to link out, is that when you create content and you're trying to build up that buzz, as you're doing your research and as you're looking to get feedback, you can utilize this community as a fearless creator to really be able to have that sort of insight that you need to go deeper and to grow deeper as a fearless creator. So thank you, Erica. So we're going to hear from, let's see who's next. Dr. Michelle, it's so good to have you join us today. I'd love for you to introduce yourself and share with us why research matters. And we're just so glad you're here. All right, so she may have had to step away. Let me know if you are here. If not, we're going to hear from Katie, who's back here with us. Katie Love, I'd love for you to share with us a bit about you and why research matters. So good to have you here with us again.
Yeah, thank you, Stacy. Thank you, everyone in the room, for listening in. It is really great to come back to the Fearless Creator community. Once again, it is part learning, part accountability for me, and I'm always here to be a student. So as far as research goes, one thing that because now I am also on TikTok and starting to get used to what's going on over there. Something that I heard that seems helpful is this person is saying, if there is a video that you like, send it to yourself, and then that becomes an idea and inspiration for what you can then remake, but in your own way, in your own style, and telling it in the way that you want to share with your community. So then you never run out of ideas. So that's my contribution for what kind of research can you do. And other than that, I feel like maybe look up some titles of whatever that you're interested in talking about, and just learn from how other people set up and write the title for their YouTube videos, and then try to kind of just write the title similarly, so that because it's already working and popular and it's clear, so it's already a working formula. That's all I have to share, and please do come by my channel to check it out. I am a newbie, but I am here because I share inspiration and my personal journey. I talk about imperfections, and I give encouragement to all of you to get out there and use your voice to speak up and speak your mind. And you never know what you want to do next until you start that first draft, second draft, and save it to your draft folder. And then the third draft, fourth and fifth is the one that you may want to post. And even then, you may not like your old videos, but the only way to improve is to continue to work on it and practice and put it out there. Don't be afraid. Then this is the best time when people don't really know your channel well yet. So go for it and embrace the imperfection. Back to you, Stacy.
Wow, Katie, oh my gosh, loved everything that you shared with us. You needed to be the one to kind of wrap us out, it seems like today. And, Katie, guys, if you have not yet had a chance to connect with Katie, she is a regular. She is a fearless creator that is always showing up. And she shared in times past that it was as a result of being in this community, she decided to launch her YouTube channel. And since then, I just love seeing the progress and the growth that is happening. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen just like, whoa, skyrocket ship, we're blown things out of the water. Very, very few people go on trend the very moment that they begin and go viral. But if you just keep at it, one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, before you know it, it will be 1 year at a time. Every single year, you'll be going and growing deeper. So I appreciate that, Katie. How many of you guys raise your hands or take the time to flash your mic if you screenshot stuff when you get ideas? You're like, oh my gosh, I need to like let this be a part of a specific album. Yes. So you screenshot things that you see that you like, and that can be a part of your research. You can go back to it later. Maybe you get as organized as saying, okay, I'm going to label the different albums so that I make sure that I don't just amass all these pictures that's taking up space and then I need to delete so that I have more space to do other things and download other apps. But you're intentional about going back, having a specific time that you pull out your content calendar, which is something we equipped our entire community with, so you can plan out for the entire year. And you can, share how you are going to possibly have a cross-pollination of your topics in all of the different platforms you need to show up on. And so if you know that your people are on YouTube, your people are listening to podcasts, your people are, going on Pinterest looking for new ideas, you need to be showing up in all of those places, right? So you take that time to record, to do your research, to know when is the right time to put your content out, to maybe promote the content that you had already put out, and just take the time to go to the next level intentionally. And so I'm just so very excited that a lot of us were in the same boat. Some of us are maybe a little bit further ahead. That's how we're going to help each other. Got the notification that some of you are introducing yourselves and joining the Discord server. So make sure if you're in some of the other platforms like Facebook, where we're multicasting, or Twitter, or wherever else you may be, you want to come and rewatch over here on Clubhouse or on YouTube. And I see Athena, welcome. She's with the Spiritual Growth Academy. She says, hi, sis. I'm adding her on the screen as well. And so we just want to make sure that, guys, you are maximizing all that you have in your grasp as you're looking to fearlessly create content. And so thank you for that reminder today, Katie. We can take that opportunity. We can take those moments to make sure that we are recording. Headliner is a tool that you can utilize. If you're not utilizing that for your titles, it will give you a score based on the passive words you're using, based on the emotional words you're conveying. It will let you know if it's really going to resonate. You can play around with different syntax, with different preposition words, and then you can see how high your score is before you decide whether that's the winning one. And then test, right? That is a matter of research. After you've decided that you're going to go ahead and post this particular title or thumbnail or question, if you're not getting the reaction like you want to, even on your TikTok video, maybe you need to go back and make some tweaks, right? And so that's my hope, guys. When you go into the Discord server, those of you who are looking to grow your channels, grow your connections, make sure you take the time to introduce yourself, share out your channel so we can connect with each other, and we can literally start being the people that will give insights and help each other, and be that think tank for each other as fearless creators. I was about to say Christian content creators because we have that community as well. All right, guys. So Dr. Michelle, I saw that you flashed your mic. I want you to go ahead, love, if you wish to share, introduce yourself and let us know your thoughts on why research matters. And then we're all going to wrap up with the one action we're going to take for today. Thank you guys for being here. Over to you, Dr. Michelle.
Sorry, it took me a moment to unmute. Thank you so much. Stacey. I'm Dr. Michelle Williams. I'm a business school professor and founder of Negotiators Way. And research, I am a researcher. So research is essential, I think, in everything. But as a professor of entrepreneurship, it's really, we call it customer discovery, but it is research. What's out there? What are people resonating with? And that way we can not produce what we want to produce necessarily, but what our audience needs. And I've heard this said as, when you give your children a meal, you put the vegetables in the smoothie so they get what they want, but they also get what they need. And when we produce, we may know more about the path that our ideal clients and customers want, but we need what they actually need to get to improve and go where and meet their goals. But we also have to meet them where their questions are and what they think they need. And research is essential for that. Thank you so much, Stacey.
Yes, I love that, Dr. Michelle. Thank you so much. You're such a vital part of, our community. And I can tell you probably have done so much research. I mean, not probably, definitely to be where you are, not only as a doctor, but just knowing the conversations you bring that are invaluable to this Clubhouse community. Through all the clubs that you're a part of, we're just so blessed and honored that you're a part of the Fearless Creator. I saw you and I want to welcome you. I cannot wait to go over into the server and welcome each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. And we're building out such a tremendous family. We normally have a closed group where we meet and we go deeper. That is for our plan members. And so, it's just a more intimate community where you're able to have more of a small group and really being able to see where you're getting stuck and workshop style things. But we wanted to have a more, a wider spread community where people can even go in and just connect and then be able to even do the research that's necessary to go forward. We're already showing up here fearlessly on Clubhouse. How can we maximize in 2022 the opportunity to be able to go further and deeper with our content, whether it's on our YouTube channels, in our podcast, with our podcasts that we're looking to continually even get funding for. My second podcast was fully funded before I launched it. And so just knowing that you can do the research, there are grants, there are opportunities, there's so much out there. And so we're wanting to make sure that we share that. I know Brittany is a resource for that. She talks about the monetization opportunities. And so we want you guys to be in each other's email list. We talked about that earlier. That is going to be the way that you're going to be able to see even more profitability and more opportunity with promoting and gaining further reach when you've created your content. Then you can remind people of the content. And even if you created it a year ago, it's not irrelevant. If you don't make it irrelevant, you can optimize it and make it relevant for the times with a switch of some words, taking that intentional time, whether it's for an hour or for the time that you've allocated to make your content work for you. But you have to do the research and you have to set aside the time and you have to fearlessly show up and utilize what it is you're learning in these spaces here on Clubhouse and beyond. So thank you guys. Athena, you are absolutely our last lovely share for today. I'd love for you to just quickly introduce yourself, love, and share with us why research matters. And hello over on YouTube as well.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Listen, I'm sorry I'm late to the party. I had clients all day. Listen, I'll just say this really quick. I'm the founder and CEO of the Spiritual Growth Academy. It is a virtual platform where we seek to help others see God authentically, and we are trekking away at that vision and that mission. Listen, one thing comes to mind with the question, and it is to study to show yourself approved. That's in the Word of God, and so that allows you to be effective for those that you are called to serve in the earth. And if you know anything, effectiveness is everything. As entrepreneurs, we're called to bring solutions in the earth God's way. And so that's definitely what we try to do there at the Spiritual Growth Academy. I appreciate all that you do, and I'm looking forward to the more. I yield my mic.
Yes, Oh my gosh, I love that. Looking forward to the more. We're doing that together, sis. So glad you could chime in and add that nugget and invaluable words as always. We just love having you a part of our community. Special hello to Andrea. Love, we just closed out saying that our last year was going to be Athena, or else I'd pull you up because if Andrea is one of our regulars. She's such a tremendous part of our community. So do love on her. Welcome to everyone in the listening lounge, from Renee, who is one of our fearless creators who've been bringing conversations here to us on Clubhouse as well, to Miss, everyone in between, Miss Tuknoka. We're just so delighted and honored that each and every one of you are here up on the stage. I want to give an opportunity, everyone who's going to take action today. We always go around the room and we share one action that we are going to take from our conversation and what we have heard today, so that we are fearlessly going out and taking the action necessary to see results. All right, so based on who is still here, we're going to just keep it going down the line. Hi, Deborah on YouTube. No worries. We're glad you're here. All right, so who's here? Let's go ahead and see those mics flash, and we'll just keep hearing and passing down the line your action steps. Okay, all right, so we'll start with you, Jeremy, and just keep it going down.
Oh, wait, what am I saying though?
Your action step, based on what we've shared today, you'll be able to take an action on something until we meet again next week.
Yeah, sure. So I am going to continue to comment, engage, and also do some more SEO research for the blogs that I'm writing on Medium, so that I can continue to increase engagement throughout the remainder of this week going into next week.
Awesome. Passing it on. There we go.
Yeah, I just started to transcribe fully what I have made already, the videos on YouTube, and with the transcription, I'm attaching that on my Substack, which you can find in my Instagram bio if you want to check an example out. Thank you. Passing it on, Lakeisha.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to take and use the Google Trends, and take some of my content that I already have on Instagram and repurpose that, and setting up the right keywords for my YouTube videos and passing it on.
Awesome. Great. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be using Google Trends to further do better research so I can use better keywords with my content. I also continue my research on Clubhouse because I do have a room idea, but I am currently researching to see if it is a needed conversation. I lend my mic back to you. I'm going to Miss Athena.
Thank you for that. Listen, for my first order of business is to listen to the replay so that I can make a calculated next step. But what I am going to do, because I'm relaunching my podcast this month, is repurpose my wisdom conversations, which has given me a plethora of content so that I don't have to recreate the wheel. So that is something that I'm going to do, and looking at analytics on a deeper scale to see how I can benefit from that information as well. I yield my mic.
So awesome. Okay, Dr. Michelle, I did see you flash earlier in Arthleen. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I think one of the things that I'm really going to try to research is I'm meeting with a podcast producer on Monday. So that's really exciting, and I'll be researching that more. But I also want to research on Clubhouse if people are interested in, for instance, sharing their negotiation success stories and having a forum for people to learn from each other, and then just give a little commentary on it versus always having kind of a presentation. I think that there's so much knowledge and experience here. I'd like to see if that's the type of room that would be of interest to people. Thank you.
Hi, I'm going to this week continue the research on hosting my the Fayetteville Fashion Week. So what I'm going to do, I have a proposal that I have to put together, and I've been just slacking on that. So this week I am going to continue with the research, and by next week I will have a proposal ready to go for Fayetteville Fashion Week. Thank you.
Wow, this has been such a delight and pleasure, such an honor. And, to know that we're going to take action today. Thank you to each and every one of you, our esteemed panelists. our moderators and speakers, Araya, Jeremy, Katie, Lacrice, Dr. Michelle, Athena, Arlene, Erica. I mean, just so tremendously blessed. I know everybody who's tuned in our multiple platforms and that will be recasted at a later date as well, that you have received value and ways in which you are able to effectively and fearlessly show up. And we talked about the how, and then we talked about the why. So we spoke about the resources, but then the why. Why do you want to be known for the thing that you want to be known for? And you've done the research that people are interested in, or you realize that you have an interest in, and you've explored, you want to explore further so that you can learn and that others who are called to you can learn. And so I want you to ask yourself that question. That is going to be your motivating force going forward as a fearless creator, so that even when it becomes difficult and you're tired and you don't feel like it, you're able to say, this is my why. I decided that I wanted to be known for this, to help someone, whether you're helping yourself or you're helping someone in your community. Knowing that we are called to serve, we're called to lead, and that you are able to be positioned as a researcher, as a podcaster, as a YouTuber to do the necessary part, the hard part in researching and laying the foundation for what it is you want to be known for and you want to share fearlessly. And then you want to think about what is the pain point you are addressing. So whenever you're doing your research, you want to keep going back to, yes, your why, but what is the pain point you are addressing so that people are able to feel like they're receiving value and they're able to receive the help that they need. You are a problem solver, not just for solving other people's problem. Yes, you want to provide a solution to help people with their problem, but you are also a problem solver for yourself. You are actually helping yourself when you're learning the process, when you're going through the research, when you're taking the time to create the content. You're getting yourself to another level, another place as a fearless creator, as a content creator. And people are going to realize that you are the person with the solution to their problem, but you're also the person that is forward thinking, that is continually staying ahead of the curve, that is bringing immense value to others. And in return, you're doing that for yourself, to yourself. And so I hope you have left here, you've come through here today, reminded, reinvigorated as to the value of why you need to research. Research does indeed matter. So think about the why and the how as a YouTuber, as a podcaster. Let us know as we continue to share and delight in community together in the server that is linked up above. And the very last link that I will share here today is so that you will be able to get the direct link to join the next live, since we do this on every single Friday. And you will be able to get all of the updates as well, not only in the Discord server, but you're going to see how I'm nurturing you. You're going to see the tools that I'm sharing through our sequence, because we spoke a little bit about email marketing in the beginning, but we want to see you fearlessly create the content, but let it live on through the people that you are creating and bringing together in your community and on your email list. So you're positioning yourself to be able to see eventually profitability and to see stability and sustainability in what you are creating, your brand, your business, and your content. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I'd love for you guys to just further connect until we have our closeout music. Sometimes you don't hear it on Clubhouse, but you'll certainly hear it over on the YouTube channel and in all the places that we're streaming on video. And so take this time as we are closing out with the music to connect, check out the bios, follow each other, and make sure that you join the Discord server that was shared a little bit earlier. And then you'll be able to keep your introductions and your shares over there. Until next time, we're equipping you to fearlessly create. All right, guys. So I normally say my last words of equipping you to fearlessly create, but we have a lovely dear friend of mine that just joined the stage. So for those of you who didn't come out of the room, you're going to get a special treat. Ashley V. Wilkerson, thank you for tapping in to support love. I think you can add value to this conversation here because I know you are very big on research and you do surveys in your community and you're just always staying ahead of the curve and the trend. So I'd love for you to just give this is almost like a little bonus. Like for those who stuck around until the very end and the after party, they're able to get an even further insight. So Ashley, if you're up for it, I'd love for you to share a little bit about you and why research matters. Over to you, Dr. Ashley V. Wilkerson.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and introduction. Greatly appreciate you. And it's always a pleasure to be in the Fearless Creator Club. Hey, y'all. I'm Dr. Ashley B. Wilkerson. I am not a medical doctor. I am a PhD. And so, with that said, PhD, that's what we do. We research. And I think research is important because it helps you make informed decisions. And all of us, every single day, make decisions. And sometimes we do it off the cuff, and then sometimes we do it with knowledge base behind it to help us determine with intention what it is we're striving to do and what the outcome we desire is that we're going for. And so as it pertains to YouTube and podcasting, does research matter? I think it does because when you are creating outlets, when you're creating content, when you are showing up for your audience, it's really not about you. It's about them. And in order to know what they want, what they desire, what they're seeking to hear and see from you, you need to do research to capture that information from them. And so oftentimes I think the mistake is that we are doing what we like and we're doing what we think looks good and sounds good and so forth and so forth. But when building an audience, are you doing what they need to hear, what they need to see, and what they need to receive? And so for me and my community, from the very beginning, before Clubhouse, when we started, as a group on Facebook initially, I did polls and I would do surveys and I would ask them, what do you want to see? What do you need? What do you want to have more of? What would you like for me to include? What would you like for me to get rid of within the community? And I continued to build and grow and nurture and further develop the community with their insight in mind. And so I just think that's extremely important as a content creator, as a community builder, and as a business owner, because when you know what they want, it's easier for you to then provide and supply the demand for conversions and sales. If you go directly to them and say, hey, do you want this? And then you make it available to them, you will usually have a group of people ready for it. They're already primed for it because they already said they wanted it. So research most certainly matters. I absolutely love conducting research, formal and informal. And I'm so glad you posed this question today. I think it's very insightful, and I know you all had a dynamic conversation. Just wanted to tap into support, so thank you for the opportunity to share.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Ashley. You're such a tremendous mover and shaker here on this app, have such a powerful community, and I am honored to be a part of the phenomenal Women Leading. And guys, so for everyone who was just tapping in, like you said it, Ashley, it really has been such an insightful conversation, and we want to invite everyone to re-listen and make sure you connect. You see these incredible speakers and moderators here. I want to make sure that I always, as we've learned and we've poured in, we did go through at the very end the actions that we're going to take. And I think Ashley really brought it full circle for us in remembering that we're not creating content for ourselves. Yes, we can learn from it and we can grow from it, but it really is for the people that we're called to, our community, the people we are leading and serving. Being the servant leader is the best kind of leader to be, because people know you're leading and you're showing up from the heart. They can feel, they can sense that, and they're going to support. You're going to get the super fans like we spoke about earlier, as a result of you meeting their need, incorporating and thinking about the how and the why. Your community, the insights you receive, that is the why. That's going to drive you for the content you're going to create. And Ashley, I know you have some boxes. You have some new things, new opportunities, new creative things that you've put together as a result of surveying and just being able to tap in week after week, even day after day, with and for your community. Do you want to share a little bit about that before we go?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The goal of my community is to educate, equip, and empower the members of our community to reach their full potential and achieve their goals. And so a couple of things that, as a result of surveying the community that we've implemented, that we will be doing more of this year, 2022, is they enjoyed having the accountability strategy session. So we added that to the calendar on Sunday. It's a goal-intensive strategy session that's taking place on Sundays. They also enjoyed our summits. We do 48-hour rooms right here on Clubhouse once a quarter. They enjoyed that, so we're going to continue that this year, and the next one is in February. They enjoyed our annual conference, but they said they would like it to take place more than once a year, so we're going to try that. We're going to do a spring summit virtually in March. We're going to make that available because our annual conference typically takes place at the end of the year between October and November, and they really enjoyed it. So we're going to do a spring summit in March so they can get that experience twice a year. And to your point, we have the subscription box that's launching this year. The subscription box allows you to kind of take me and the community home with you. And in the subscription box, there are items that are going to be items with swag for the community that only subscription box holders will receive. In addition to that, there are also going to be items that are encouragement, motivational, inspirational as well. So those will be curated specifically with community members in mind. And that's a quarterly box that's launching this year. And so, yeah, we're hosting new topics under the Community Club for conversations this year. So that's going to be new. So a lot of different things are going to be offered this year. I'm really, really, really excited about it. So those are just a few of them. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Yes, of course. Ashley, I'm so grateful because, one of the things I realized, guys, all things work together for good, because I need to be reminded of this other element of research that we're doing when we show up in Clubhouse, when we're a part of other communities that are helping us to go deeper and to get better. And so just knowing that I've learned and received so much value being a part of your community and the communities that are here, I decided that we are not going to have, events that are going to, clash with others who we are connecting and we want to collaborate with. And so even though we are going to be doing something at the end of this month and then we're doing something in March, I was like, I have to look in the exact dates that Ashley is having her event at the Mom Link, because we had so many Mom Link members and the creators earlier here in this room. And I was like, I don't want it to clash with any of the events that these tremendous friends and collaborators and leaders are having their events. So I love that you pointed that out, and I cannot wait. We changed the link to the Discord server. I'm a part of the Telegram group that you have, Ashley, and I know a lot of us as community leaders, we're having groups to really foster an even deeper connection and collaboration and opportunity to share and to gain insight and research from those who are drawn and called to our communities and what it is that we're trying to help them with. And so I'm just so excited. Like, this was just so necessary and a reminder to each and every one of us as fearless creators. If you're looking to collaborate with others, to align yourself with others, just like Ashley, who tapped in here, I had to make the time to get this little bonus session in because it's not all the time that we have that opportunity, right? And that you would leave with even more value and insight today on this topic. And if you're looking to do an event, you're looking to partner, I reach out to people individually, but I also look and do research on what others who are doing. We don't want to hold rooms when we know some of the other people that we want to learn from are holding rooms. Sometimes you can't help it, but if you can, then do the necessary part of the work so that everybody can win, so that we can all show up for each other. And I think you're such a prime example of that. So many of our amazing moderators here on this stage and those who've come through the room today are prime examples of that. Is why they're succeeding. That is why they're fearlessly leading and creating an everlasting impact, not just on one platform, but on a plethora of platforms. So I'm excited. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Dr. Michelle. Thank you, Arlene, Lucrece, Araya, who stuck around until the very end. Well, after the end. And everyone else who's been in here, from Renee down to Kim in the listening lounge. We're so glad you're here. So do tap in, join the link above, the Discord server. We just celebrated so many people who joined in on the celebration. And then we're going to keep each other accountable until we gather together again next Friday. Be the first one in the room so that we can hear from you and we can go deeper. And until next time, guys, we're equipping you to fearlessly create. Love you guys and see you guys again soon. Say your goodbyes for real this time. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Stacey. It's going to bring us all together.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Love you guys. Closing out in 3, 2, 1. And for those of you still on YouTube, a special hello and thank you. And of course, everyone that's listening and the other places that we've repurposed. This is what happens when you stick around, you get all the goodies. And so Athena, I'm so ready for what's going to happen. Muizanga, oh my gosh, just so appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing. And I'm so glad you were able to hear the music. And for everyone, yes, the question that I'm seeing here, you're going live in Clubhouse, YouTube, and your Facebook group all at the same time. I am indeed. And so let me get these last comments up for those of you who are watching the live and you're a part of the conversation. So guys, we cannot wait. Guess what? You're getting the sneak peek. You're getting the information. So at the end of the month, we have a special surprise that we're sharing in the Discord server. So you want to make sure to join the group. I will link the Discord server in our Facebook group. I'll update that so you'll be able to go directly in. And, we want to make it available in intimate, closed communities because we don't just want anybody in there. We want the creme de la creme. We want fearless creators who are going to help each other and be there for one another. And so we'll give you guys the first insights, the first sneak peek, and the first look in our speakers that are coming to you. And then the actual official dates for our summit, or spring summit, is happening March, but it's going to be from March the 9th through the 12th. Okay, so this has not been released anywhere yet because we're finalizing all the details. We're still we've had some speakers already commit, and we're getting the finalization of our so we can start dripping out the information and just delighting in all that is to come in 2022. So plan, position, and prepare yourself to be able to do all the things you've been desiring to do, because now is your time to fearlessly do it and do it in community. Love you guys. Mwah! See you soon. Bye.